Why does having more never feel like enough? Seneca warned us, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. After diving deep into consumerism and philosophy, I'll reveal how his wisdom explains why we're never truly satisfied, no matter what we have. In his philosophical musings, Seneca, the Stoic sage, illuminates a profound truth about human nature, the insatiable desire for more. This notion delves into the heart of human dissatisfaction, framing poverty not as a lack of material possessions, but as an unquenchable thirst for acquisition. Seneca's insight transcends time, but in today's world of consumerism and material obsession, it holds even greater significance. The society we live in is characterized by an overwhelming need to accumulate, be it wealth, success, or social status. The digital age, with its ceaseless flow of advertisements and social media posts, constantly reminds us of what we don't have. We are shown the latest gadgets, luxurious lifestyles, and curated images of happiness through possessions. The more we are exposed to these messages, the more we are conditioned to believe that fulfillment lies just beyond our grasp. If only we could own that next thing. Yet, the irony is that the more we acquire, the less satisfied we become. Psychologists refer to this phenomenon as the hedonic treadmill. The idea that as people accumulate wealth or achieve their desires, their expectations and desires continue to increase in parallel. The satisfaction that comes from acquiring something new is fleeting. Soon the mind shifts to the next goal, and the cycle begins again. This perpetual longing for more is what keeps us poor in Seneca's terms. Poverty, therefore, is not a financial condition, but a state of mind, one where we are constantly striving, but never arriving. In the hustle and bustle of modern life, many fail to recognize that true wealth comes not from the relentless pursuit of material goods, but from cultivating a sense of inner contentment. We often think that the next promotion, the newest phone, or the trendiest outfit will finally bring happiness. But Seneca's wisdom invites us to shift our perspective. Instead of endlessly craving more, we must learn to appreciate what we already have. In this way, we can break free from the chains of consumerism and experience true wealth, not in our bank accounts, but in our hearts. While consumerism thrives on the idea that happiness is externally achieved, Stoicism teaches us that contentment is an internal state. Seneca's philosophy champions eudaimonia, a term that refers to flourishing through virtue rather than through the pursuit of material gains. For the Stoics, happiness is not the result of indulgence, but of mastering one's desires. To live well, they argue, is to live simply, focusing on the essentials and aligning one's values with nature and reason. In stark contrast, consumerism urges us to constantly upgrade our lives, newer cars, bigger houses, flashier clothes. The message is clear. You are not enough as you are. You need more to be complete. However, the more we consume, the less satisfied we become. We are caught in a race that has no finish line, and every step forward reveals another mile yet to run. Social media, in particular, has heightened this sense of inadequacy. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok fuel a culture of comparison, where the lives of others are edited and filtered to perfection. Scrolling through these curated feeds often leads to feelings of envy and dissatisfaction. Studies have shown that people who spend more time on social media report higher levels of anxiety and lower levels of happiness, as they measure their lives against unrealistic portrayals of others' successes. This constant comparison only feeds the desire for more wealth, more beauty, more recognition. But if we peel back the layers of consumerism, we uncover a powerful truth. The more we chase external validation, the more elusive it becomes. True contentment, as Seneca wisely observed, does not come from external sources. It is an internal state, a calm acceptance of one's circumstances and a gratitude for what is already present. The antidote to consumerism lies in moderation. In Stoic philosophy, moderation is the key to living a balanced life. By cultivating self-restraint and recognizing the difference between needs and wants, we free ourselves from the grip of unnecessary desires. We begin to understand that happiness is not something that can be bought or possessed. It is something that arises when we stop seeking it in the wrong places. Seneca's challenge to us, then, is to redefine what it means to be rich. True wealth, he argues, is not found in amassing more, but in wanting less. In a society obsessed with accumulation, this Stoic mindset offers a radical shift in perspective. When we learn to be content with less, we are no longer prisoners to our desires. Instead, we become masters of our own minds, capable of finding joy in the present moment and in the simple pleasures of life. While Seneca's insights into wealth and contentment challenge our material aspirations, another timeless paradox invites us to reconsider our relationship with knowledge. The idea that the more you know you don't know, echoes through history, with roots tracing back to Socrates, who famously proclaimed, "I know that I know nothing." This paradox speaks to the nature of wisdom and the limitations of human understanding. At its core, it reveals a profound truth. Genuine knowledge leads to humility, not certainty. As we delve deeper into any subject, we begin to uncover layers of complexity that we hadn't anticipated. A seemingly simple question often branches into more intricate inquiries, each opening new avenues of exploration. This is the paradox of learning. Each answer we discover reveals just how much more remains unknown. In essence, knowledge expands our awareness of our own ignorance. In today's world, this paradox is particularly significant. We live in an era of unprecedented access to information. With the internet at our fingertips, it may seem as though the sum of human knowledge is available in an instant. Yet, this flood of information often gives the illusion of understanding without depth. Skimming an article or watching a video may provide surface-level awareness, but it rarely leads to true mastery. As Albert Einstein once said, "Any fool can know. The point is to understand." The pursuit of real understanding requires curiosity, critical thinking, and a willingness to question our assumptions. It involves not just gathering facts, but connecting those facts to broader contexts, recognizing patterns and acknowledging the limits of what we can know. The more we engage in this process, the more we realize how vast and intricate the world truly is, and how little of it we genuinely grasp. This paradox of knowledge also serves as a caution against arrogance. In an age where misinformation spreads rapidly, many people fall into the trap of believing they are experts after minimal exposure to a topic. The Dunning-Kruger effect, a cognitive bias where individuals overestimate their competence, is rampant in an information-saturated world. People may feel confident in their opinions after reading a few headlines or social media posts, but this shallow engagement often leads to overconfidence and rigid thinking. True wisdom, however, lies in recognizing the boundaries of our understanding. The modern era of information overload has made this paradox even more critical. We are bombarded with content, news, data, opinions every second of the day. While this deluge offers unprecedented opportunities for learning, it also poses a significant challenge. How do we sift through the noise and engage with knowledge meaningfully? Moreover, how do we cultivate the intellectual humility needed to navigate this complex landscape? Information overload can lead to a dangerous kind of superficial knowledge, what some might call Google knowledge. This is the tendency to believe we are well informed simply because we have access to facts, figures, and quick explanations. However, access to information is not the same as understanding it. Real knowledge requires time, effort, and contemplation. It involves grappling with uncertainty and ambiguity, and often it leads to more questions than answers. Philosophically, this brings us to the concept of intellectual humility. As the paradox of knowledge suggests, the more we learn, the more we realize how much we don't know. Intellectual humility is the recognition of these limits. It's the ability to say, "I don't know," without feeling threatened or diminished. It's also the willingness to change our minds when presented with new evidence. In a polarized world where people often cling to their beliefs with unwavering certainty, intellectual humility is a rare and valuable trait. Bertrand Russell famously said, "The whole problem with the world is that fools and fanatics are always so certain of themselves, but wiser people so full of doubts." This captures the essence of intellectual humility. Those who understand the complexity of the world are less likely to make grand, absolute claims. They approach knowledge with a sense of curiosity and openness rather than dogma. In contrast, those who know little often have a false sense of confidence in their beliefs. In the age of information overload, cultivating intellectual humility is essential. It allows us to navigate the overwhelming amount of data with discernment, questioning what we read, seeking deeper understanding, and being open to the possibility that we might be wrong. It also reminds us that true wisdom is not about knowing all the answers, but about asking the right questions. At the intersection of Seneca's reflection on wealth and the paradox of knowledge, we arrive at a profound truth. Wisdom lies in embracing our limitations. Whether it's the limits of our material desires or the limits of our understanding, acknowledging these boundaries can lead to a richer, more meaningful life. Seneca's teachings remind us that the constant craving for more, whether it's more wealth, more power, or more status, leads to dissatisfaction. The true path to contentment is not in acquiring more, but in wanting less. By mastering our desires, we free ourselves from the endless cycle of longing and disappointment. This acceptance of limitation fosters inner peace and allows us to appreciate the present moment. Similarly, the paradox of knowledge teaches us that we can never know everything. Rather than fearing this uncertainty, we should embrace it as a catalyst for growth. The recognition that there is always more to learn keeps us curious, open-minded, and humble. It prevents us from becoming rigid in our beliefs and allows us to continually evolve in our understanding of the world. Together, these ideas form a powerful philosophy for modern life, the wisdom of limitation. In a society that often equates success with accumulation of both wealth and knowledge, this philosophy offers an alternative. It suggests that true success is found not in having more, but in understanding and accepting our limitations. This doesn't mean we stop striving for improvement or seeking knowledge. Rather, it means we do so with a sense of balance, knowing that fulfillment comes not from external achievements, but from inner harmony. In our fast-paced, information-rich world, the wisdom of ancient philosophers like Seneca resonates more than ever. His reflections on contentment and wealth remind us that the pursuit of more, whether it's material goods or social validation, leads not to fulfillment, but to perpetual poverty of the soul. True wealth is found in appreciating what we already have and desiring less. At the same time, the paradox of knowledge invites us to approach learning with humility. In a world saturated with information, it's easy to mistake access for understanding. But true wisdom lies not in knowing everything, but in recognizing the limits of our knowledge and remaining open to new insights. Ultimately, both of these ideas point to a central theme. Wisdom is about embracing limitation. Whether it's the limits of our desires or the limits of our understanding, acknowledging these boundaries allows us to live with greater contentment, curiosity, and peace. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, this ancient wisdom offers a powerful guide, reminding us that the key to true wealth and knowledge is not found in accumulation, but in acceptance.